Welcome to another deep dive with us. This time we're taking a close look at ViewNet Systems, a Danish company that's really making waves in the LED screen world.
Yeah.
We've got a whole stack of their materials, websites, brochures, case studies, all that good stuff. And we're going to dig through it all, pull out the most interesting bits.
Okay.
So you can think of this as like, I don't know,
Yeah.
a crash course in all things ViewNet,
I like it.
but way more fun than reading a company report.
Definitely.
So to give you a quick overview, ViewNet, they bill themselves as a total solutions provider, and they seem to really mean it. They handle everything from design and installation to content creation,
Right.
and even long-term maintenance of these screens.
Interesting.
And one thing that really jumps out from their materials is this huge emphasis on sustainability and energy efficiency.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye too.
Yeah.
When you think about these massive LED screens,
Yeah.
the energy they consume, it's smart of them to really highlight that aspect.
It's definitely a differentiator,
For sure. Because
especially these days.
more and more clients are really factoring that in,
Big time.
Sustainability
Yeah.
is a major consideration.
It's not just a nice to have anymore. It's like a must have.
It's a must-have.
So let's dive into their product lineup
Oh, okay.
because they've got a lot going on.
Yeah, they do.
Indoor screens, outdoor screens.
Right.
They've got these things called pylons
Okay.
and even screens specifically for like electric vehicle charging stations.
Wow, so they're really targeting those emerging markets.
Seems like they've got a screen for every situation you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, and that's a deliberate choice, right? I mean, you can see how they're aligning themselves with these key sectors, transportation, retail, and that whole e-mobility boom that's happening.
Totally. And they keep talking about integrated experiences. So what does that actually mean, like in practice?
Okay, so think of it this way. Instead of just a screen just displaying an ad, it's collecting data and personalizing the content in real time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so like imagine you pull up to an e-charging station and the screen, it greets you by name.
Wow.
It shows your charging status, maybe even suggests a cafe nearby while you wait.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's about making the screen part of a larger, more engaging ecosystem.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some specifics.
Okay.
They've got the View Studio Pro, which is like their flagship indoor screen, designed for big spaces like conference rooms, auditoriums.
I see.
Then there's the View Pro, their outdoor screen.
Right.
And they highlight this super black technology.
Oh, yeah. What is that all about?
Yeah, what's so special about super black?
So it's not just a marketing gimmick.
Okay.
These super black LED panels have a special coating that actually absorbs ambient light.
Interesting.
So you get these super deep blacks.
Wow.
And a much higher contrast ratio.
So even in direct sunlight, you can still see everything clearly.
Exactly. And that's crucial for outdoor installations.
Totally.
But wouldn't that also mean they can use less energy to achieve the same level of brightness?
I would think so, yeah.
Right. It plays into their sustainability goals.
It all ties together.
It does. It's a clever solution.
Yeah.
And speaking of clever solutions, they also have the View Pylon.
Oh, yeah, the pylons.
Those big LED pylons you see along highways?
Right. For traffic updates, advertising.
Exactly.
Those things are bright. I've always noticed that.
Oh, they are, but ViewNet actually has a solar-powered version.
What?
Yeah, the View Solar.
That's amazing.
It was developed with the University of Southern Denmark.
Wow.
Shows their commitment to R&D
Yeah.
finding these sustainable solutions even for these energy-intensive products.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And then there's the View Charge, which I thought was really interesting, specifically for e-mobility charging stations.
Smart move.
Right. With that market exploding,
Oh, yeah.
it seems like a really strategic product to have.
It is. As more and more people switch to EVs,
Right.
the demand for charging infrastructure is only going to go up.
Absolutely.
And ViewNet is positioning themselves to be like the go-to provider for those screens.
They're not just reacting, they're like anticipating.
Exactly. They're thinking ahead.
Okay, so we've got a sense of their product line, which is pretty extensive. But one thing they keep hammering on in their materials is energy efficiency.
Right. They talk about
Power-saving technology and this pixel clear AI power saving system. What's the deal with that?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
It's not just marketing fluff.
Okay.
They've developed a pretty sophisticated AI algorithm
Wow.
that dynamically adjusts the power output
Of the LED?
Of each LED on the screen.
That's wild.
Yeah, based on what content is being displayed.
Okay.
So like imagine a screen showing a night sky.
Okay, good.
Mostly dark.
Right.
With a few bright stars.
Uh-huh.
The algorithm dims the LEDs in the dark areas.
Oh, I see.
While keeping the stars at full brightness.
So you still get the vibrancy?
Exactly.
But you're saving energy.
You got it. It's a win-win.
That's really clever.
And they claim this tech, combined with their super black panels, can reduce power consumption by like 40 to 80%.
That's massive.
Compared to traditional screens, that's huge.
Especially when you think about the scale of some of these installations.
Absolutely. It's a game changer.
Especially for companies with those sustainability goals.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so we know they make a wide range of screens.
Mm-hmm.
We know they're serious about energy efficiency.
Right.
But can they actually deliver?
Yeah, that's the question.
Let's talk about their track record and some of their most impressive projects.
Let's do it. Oh, they can deliver. They've done over 3,000 installations. Wow. And they're not slowing down at all. Yeah, they average something like 8 to 16 new installations every single week.
That's a lot of screens.
It is. Yeah. And to operate at that scale, you got to have your processes down.
For sure.
So it really suggests they've honed their project execution to like a fine art.
They've got the system down pat.
They do, and they clearly have the capacity to handle these big, complex projects.
And speaking of big, complex projects, let's talk about their clients, because they've got some impressive names on that list.
Oh, they do.
They've worked with Danfoss, which is like a global engineering giant.
Right.
Citibank, a major Danish bank.
Okay.
TV2, one of Denmark's biggest television stations.
Wow.
And even the Danish parliament.
That's impressive.
It's a pretty diverse portfolio.
It is. It really speaks to their ability to adapt their solutions to all these different needs.
Right, because installing a screen in like a corporate office is one thing.
Right.
But equipping a parliament building.
Yeah, that's a whole other.
That's a whole other level.
Level of security.
Yeah.
Reliability.
And discretion, I bet.
Oh, for sure. Landing a project like that really speaks to their credibility.
Yeah. You wonder what went on behind the scenes on that one.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I bet there were some unique challenges.
Oh, yeah.
Just in terms of security protocols and all that.
For sure.
The fact they were trusted with such a sensitive installation really says something about their reputation.
Okay, let's dive into some specific projects.
Okay.
First up, the Danfoss campus Colding.
Mm-hmm.
They installed this huge interactive screen in the reception area.
Yeah, imagine walking into a building and being greeted by a screen that responds to you.
That's pretty cool.
It's a statement.
Sets the tone.
It does creates a modern and engaging first impression.
For sure. Then there's the Citibank project.
Right.
The details on that one are a little scarce.
Yeah, they're keeping that one under wraps.
But even without knowing specifics,
the
fact that they're working with a major bank, it tells you something.
Oh, yeah. Banks are super cautious about their tech.
Absolutely, especially when it comes to security.
Of course, anything involving financial transactions has to meet the highest standards.
So for ViewNet to be chosen for that project.
Yeah, they must have passed some serious vetting.
I bet.
Due diligence, for sure.
Okay, moving on to TV2.
Okay.
A leading television station.
Right.
I bet there are some unique technical considerations when you're installing screens for a broadcaster.
Oh, absolutely. Image quality has to be top-notch.
Of course.
And the screens need to integrate seamlessly with their existing broadcasting systems.
Right.
Plus, any downtime would be a disaster.
For sure.
So reliability is non-negotiable.
ViewNet was probably under a lot of pressure with that one.
Oh, yeah. High stakes.
But they pulled it off.
They did, successfully delivering a project like that.
Yeah.
For a national broadcaster. That really solidifies their expertise.
Shows they can handle the pressure.
For sure.
Now, the project that I think really highlights ViewNet's prestige is the Folketingssalen.
The Danish parliament?
I mean, installing screens in the heart of government, that's not something just any company can do.
It's a statement project.
It is.
You need a proven track record of quality security.
And the ability to work discreetly in a very sensitive environment.
Right. You don't want to be making headlines for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Plus, the eyes of the nation are often on those screens.
Especially during those parliamentary proceedings.
Exactly. So the pressure must be immense.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And for ViewNet to be entrusted with that responsibility, it really speaks volumes.
Okay, so taking a step back, what do all these diverse projects tell us about ViewNet?
Well, I think they paint a picture of a company that's highly adaptable.
Okay.
They can tailor their solutions to all sorts of different industries, different environments.
And different clients.
Different clients with different needs.
Clearly, they've got the technical skills to handle these complex projects.
They do.
And they've built a strong reputation for quality, reliability,
and discretion, which is key in some of those settings.
It seems like they're not just about selling screens.
Right.
They're about understanding their clients' challenges.
And delivering solutions that go above and beyond.
Exactly. They're not just a screen manufacturer.
Yeah.
They're like problem solvers.
They're partners.
And trusted advisors.
Exactly.
Yeah. A combination of innovative products, a commitment to sustainability,
right,
a strong client base,
and a thriving company culture.
They're firing on all cylinders.
They are. They're definitely a company to watch.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into ViewNet Systems.
We have.
Their products, their technology, sustainability initiatives.
Their mission for the future.
Their client base, even their company culture.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface.
But we've gained some valuable insights.
I think so.
Into what makes them tick.
And why they're such a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. And we've seen how they're not content with just selling screens.
Yeah.
They're pushing the boundaries.
Of what's possible.
Creating a more engaging
and interactive world.
And doing it all with a commitment to ethical business practices.
Yes.
And a depth understanding of their clients' needs.
Exactly.
But before we wrap up this deep dive,
okay,
there's one more aspect we need to explore.
What's that?
And it's a big one.
Okay, I'm listening.
ViewNet's international ambitions.
Yes. They're a Danish company, but they're thinking bigger.
Much bigger. They've got a strong presence in Denmark.
Of course, that's their home turf.
But they're making some serious moves into other European countries.
Right, they're expanding.
Especially Germany.
Germany, yeah, that's a key market for them.
It is Europe's largest economy.
Exactly, and a hub for innovation and technology.
So for ViewNet to be successful there,
yeah,
it suggests they've got a product.
And a business model.
That can work across borders.
That can translate, yeah.
But expanding internationally, that's got to be tricky.
Oh, it's challenging for sure.
You got the language differences.
Cultural differences.
The regulations are different.
Different technical standards, yeah.
It's a lot to navigate.
It is, but ViewNet seems to be handling it well.
They do?
They're not just exporting a Danish product. They're adapting
to each market.
To each market's specific needs.
That's smart.
Yeah, it shows they've got that global mindset.
That willingness to learn and adapt.
Which is essential if you want to be a global player.
It is, and it's interesting how they're leveraging their Danish heritage as a strength.
Right, because Denmark has this reputation for design sustainability, and ViewNet is definitely playing that up.
So they're not just selling screens, they're selling a piece of Danish innovation.
A piece of that Danish ingenuity.
And craftsmanship.
Exactly, and that resonates with customers.
Who are looking for something.
Special.
High quality.
Unique, yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
ViewNet's products, their technology.
Their sustainability effort.
Their client base.
Their vision for the future.
Even their company culture.
We've dug deep.
What's the key takeaway here?
What makes ViewNet stand out?
In such a crowded market.
I think it comes down to this.
Okay.
They're not just selling screens, they're selling experiences.
Experiences.
Yeah, and they understand that in today's world, it's not enough to just have a great product.
Right.
You have to create a memorable experience around it.
Make it engaging.
Exactly, and ViewNet is really good at that.
Yeah, they're not just focused on the tech.
Right.
They're thinking about the people.
The user.
Who are going to be interacting with it.
And they're using their expertise to craft those experiences that are informative and maybe even transformative.
They're not just following trends.
No.
They're shaping the future.
Of how we interact with the digital content.
In our daily lives.
Exactly.
But as these screens become more and more common, it's important to think about the implications.
Oh, absolutely.
Of all this digital signage.
Right, as it becomes more ubiquitous.
It's everywhere you look.
We need to be mindful of the impact it could have.
On society.
Our attention spans.
Even our mental well-being.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new technology.
And overlook the potential downside.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to have companies like ViewNet leading the way.
They're not just focused on the profits.
Right. They're thinking about the ethical implications.
And trying to use their technology for good. And ViewNet is a great example.
Of how it's possible.
To create a future where digital signage is a force for good.
A force for positive change.
That's a powerful message.
It is, and it's a reminder that we all have a role to play.
In shaping the world we want to live in.
Exactly.
It's been fascinating exploring ViewNet Systems.
It has. They're a fascinating company.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure. Always a good time.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And keep asking questions.